Talking about evaluating soil health on your farm, and one of the best things you can do is look at what we call aggregate stability. And soil aggregates are not formed just by the bond between the sand, silt, and clay particles, but it's actually the biological activity in the soil that allows the fungi and the bacteria to grow, and they produce a gluing. You also have roots that help provide organic matter, and exudates to help bind things together. And if you want to test this, real simple, and a lot of you have probably seen this on YouTube, but you can just get a sample of your soil. It's best to let this thing air dry. You know, you can observe this. One of the things you'll notice that there's not any pore space at all. This is from the conventionally tilled field that's been a little degraded, and this is from Zeb's field. It's got, you can see earthworm holes, and it's good aggregation. And just get you a thing of water, and you just drop it in there. And if you want to get real fancy, you can put a screen and help hold it up in there, and you'll see it start to dissolve. And let it sit there for a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and it starts to fall apart. Now one of the problems is if you get a tight soil, it's got a lot of clay. I think Will said this had 30 or 35% clay. It just doesn't have the pore space to let the water in, and it's the rushing of the water into the pore space that causes the soil to slake or to explode and become so dramatic. When you take good healthy soil, that same process is taking place. The water is going into the pore spaces, but the biotic glues and the earthworm or the root fibers and all that's kind of binding it together and creating a more stable aggregate that allows raindrops to hit it, allows equipment to go across it. It just makes a stronger soil. But what happens is, if it's got a lot of clay, it takes a long time for it to soak in. So let it sit there for a while. And if it doesn't fall apart and you think, that's got good aggregation, well, I can guarantee it's not. But so what you need to do is pull the clod out. It's healthy soil, broke it in half. It's wet all the way through, but it's still stable. I can still handle it. This is from the degraded field of Zeb's. I pulled it apart, and you can see it kind of ooze. This is called soil pudding. And you can kind of see it as it slakes. It just kind of oozes apart. If your soil's doing this, that's not a good situation. That's called slaking, and an indicator of a degraded situation, and something that needs to be addressed if you're trying to have a healthy and sustainable soils.